the Hawk. And what you gonna do, brother, when Hawkmania is running wild on you? You're gonna subscribe, brother. Yeah, man.
Alright, Shuvitsquad, my last Rinker King video seemed to go over pretty well, and I'm glad a lot of you enjoyed seeing Scott Steiner being pushed as a main eventer. Well, get ready to be disappointed. You won't believe what they've got in store for him over the next 4 episodes of Rinker King. Just before we start, make sure you hit subscribe and that bell icon, or the Hawk gets it. And make sure to let me know down below if you want this series to continue, covering Rinker King or not. Alright, let's do it. Episode 2 Rinker King, did it make the Steiner sing? Let's find out. Alright, starting out, I don't know quite why we need these 2 authority figures on the show. We've got this ex-cricketer guy who seems to be obsessed with shaking people's hands, and then we've got this other dude called Jazzy Lahoria. I've no idea what he's saying here, but he's giving off serious Hill vibes. His title is the Commissioner, so he's basically the Indian William Regal. He announces that the tag title tournament is taking place now. All the competitors come out, like they did to introduce the main characters in the World Championship tournament. No sign of Steiner here. I wonder what the world's most random factions, Steiner, Magnus and Sonjay Dutt, will be up to tonight. All the competitors start fighting. Zema Ion hits a big dive onto all of them, but it looks like nobody manages to catch him properly. He then celebrates with Jimmy Rave. Whatever you do, don't let him near a mic. Backstage, a man who looks homeless is walking around. I think he's supposed to be intimidating, but he just looks scruffy. He starts threatening people backstage. This army dude called the Enforcer then squares up to him and immediately devalues him by dwarfing him in size. The scruffball comes out to the ring next. What is wrong with him? He looks like he's been punched in the face. He seems to be doing an Abyss gimmick. His opponent is an overweight man with a ninja gimmick. He's the fattest ninja I've ever seen. Maybe he was one of the ones who kidnapped Samoa Joe. Wait a minute, that's Savio Vega. What the hell happened to him? Anyway, the scruffy guy wins with a finger to the throat. It looks bad. Backstage, the Steiner faction is apologising to their boss on the phone for not winning the world title and begging for him not to send somebody to help them. Sonjay is acting like a cartoon character here. Suddenly Steiner goes nuts and says he wants control and hates Rinker King and other things that I don't quite understand. You tell me.
I want control! I want King! I want fear again! I want any Indian again! I want to destroy him! I hate these people! Send me anybody! I'm gonna destroy them!
And hopefully Steiner will follow through with that promise and destroy someone tonight. The Sheiks come out for their tag tournament match next. Everyone yelled at me on the last video for not pointing out that along with Daivari, his nephew Ari Daivari is also signed with the WWE right now and competes in the Cruiserweight division. Anyway, the Sheiks beat 2 fake looking Indian strongmen. Now the midget is back on TV again for some reason. He actually has more swag than most people on this show put together though. Magnus and Sonjay Dutt take on Zema Ion and Jimmy Rave next. Zema was great last week, but he's too skinny to be wearing a vest like that, even if it is extra small. I don't understand a spot in this match. Sonjay Dutt kisses Jimmy Rave's boot and it seems to get a massive pop from the crowd. Maybe someone can explain this one to me below. Magnus looks like a proud father beating up his little children here. They're all so small compared to him. Sonjay and Magnus eventually win when Magnus hits the elbow from the top. Steiner then comes out to celebrate but doesn't beat anyone up sadly, so they lied to us then. The tag team tournament continues on the next show. The Bollywood boys come out to a big elaborate entrance with dancing, but nobody cares about them because they're taking on the Mumbai Cats. Interestingly, it's been heavily rumoured on this channel that the Mumbai Cats are actually the Young Bucks in disguise. This is the first matchup involving no talents that would have been familiar to any of you at the time. It's a nothing match and the Bollywood boys win with a double super kick. Backstage, the new world champion is being interviewed about the main event tonight between Isaiah Cash and Roscoe Jackson for the #1 contendership. Wow, I know Morgan was a giant, but how small is that interviewer compared to him? This match was set up a couple of weeks ago when Isaiah Cash attacked everyone after a tag match. Roscoe is jumped on his way to the ring by the homeless looking man, and Cash takes advantage of this by booting him square in the face. Roscoe is then in control of the match for a very long time, until Isaiah Cash hits a spinebuster out of nowhere to pin him for the 3, a standard big man match. Backstage, the Steiner, Magnus and Sonjay Dutt crew are on Skype being threatened by their boss. It's obvious who their boss is from the voice, but it doesn't show a picture. Take a guess down below in the comment section who you think the boss will be. If you've already seen Rinker King, don't spoil it for everyone else, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. This is Rob Terry rules, remember. He keeps saying he wants control and threatens them and says that they can't lose any more matches. Backstage, the authority figures are being interviewed again. Why does this guy feel the need to shake everybody's hand and tell them to keep up the great work? It just sounds so patronising. It sounds like that one boss at work who just keeps interfering with what you're doing. You just don't want to deal with them. Then the midget appears again and starts ranting about something. No idea what he said. American Adonis is then doing the challenge again to see who can beat his master lock. He beats some crowd member again in seconds, but this time Mahabali Veera comes out and interrupts him and challenges him, but Adonis backs down. Chavo Guerrero is being interviewed next about his upcoming tag team tournament match, but his voice is like nails on a chalkboard. I can't stand this guy. It's probably how most of you feel about me. Anyway, Bulldog Hart and Chavo are taking on Joey Ryan and Nunzio in this tag tournament matchup. You know, I hate all this ass-kissing Chavo gets wherever he goes. He's nothing special. He was a jobber in WCW and a jobber in WWE. The only thing special about him is who he was related to. He's small, he can't cut a promo, and all he's ever done is reference his uncle. Name me one interesting thing he's done since Eddie passed away. And no, Glow doesn't count. There's just nothing likeable about him. At least people like Rob Terry and Wes Briscoe are so bad that they were funny. Chavo isn't even bad in the ring, so it's not funny. In the match, Chavo is isolated for ages, but eventually he tags into Bulldog Hart Smith, who nails a powerbomb, before Chavo wins with the frog splash because God hates me. On the next episode of Rinker King, Isaiah Cash brags on the mic that he is the leader of a motorcycle club. Makes me wonder if the Aces and Eights were planned to start a bit sooner than they actually did. He calls out Matt Morgan, but Matt Morgan gets attacked by the homeless man on the way to the ring. You know, they really should put some security there if he's going to keep doing that. Either that or slip the guy some rupees and get rid of him. Anyway, Morgan fights him off, it's not a big deal, but then Cash nails him with the world title. Backstage, Magnus is threatening Sonjay Dutt that they need to win their tag tournament match tonight. Sonjay is being a complete goof and not taking it seriously, until Steiner flips out at him. Elsewhere, Mickie James is being threatened by Raisha Saeed, but there's no time for that because the homeless man is back up next. I think he's meant to be like a Monster Kane or Abyss gimmick, but he's not scary looking, he just looks stupid. He's taking on an obese Indian child. This is the fattest 8-year-old I've ever seen. I'm not even exaggerating, have you ever seen such a fat child? What did his parents feed him? Anyway, the homeless man jabs the fat boy in the neck with his finger and pins him in about 20 seconds. He then gets on the mic throwing a tantrum that he wants a world title shot. Do you really think that you deserve a world title shot? All you did was beat up a fat child. The commissioner comes out next with some backup, all of which look like they could take this homeless guy quite easily. The commissioner then suspends him and the security remove him from the arena. I'm not surprised he got suspended, he assaulted and bullied a very fat child. It was pure abuse. Magnus and Sonjay Dutt are out next and they will be taking on the Bollywood Boys. The Bollywood Boys are two of the better Indian talents that I've seen so far on this show, and the crowd are nuts about them. They hit their double super kick finish on Sonjay, but he kicks out this time, because he's not a cat. Dutt and Magnus eventually manage to win after Magnus nails the elbow from the top rope. Chavo is then being interviewed backstage again, but he's interrupted by the midget and a giant. They want a title shot if Chavo can win the belts. Chavo is all scared of the giant. Talking of giants, Morgan is backstage moaning about everyone attacking him tonight. He threatens Cash for hitting him with the belt. The Sheiks are out next to take on Chavo Guerrero and Bulldog Hart for a place in the final. During the match, Raisha Saeed tries to interfere, but Mickie James stops her, and Bulldog Hart hits the power slam with Chavo following it up with the frog splash. And they're in the final. Episode 8 starts out with Morgan hyping his world title match tonight against Isaiah Cash. The Magnus Steiner Sonjay Dutt faction are backstage trying to recruit Isaiah Cash to join their team. Said they'll help each other win their matches tonight. Steiner is offering the guy fruit. Why have they completely ruined Scott Steiner in the space of 4 shows? He was a complete badass main eventer before this. Now he's serving this bold Undertaker rip-off jobber with fruit. What happened? Why? Bagal Parinder is out next. He's one of the new talents we haven't seen yet, but he seems to think he's a Hawk. There's only one Hawk Hogan, brother, and it ain't you. He'll be taking on Jimmy Rave, who probably can't wait to get this match over with so he can go out and party.
It's Jimmy Rave, and I'm ready to get this match over with so we can party! Woo!
Okay, I'll hold my hands up. I thought this Parinder guy was going to be bad. He's actually very agile. He puts Jimmy Rave away over Moonsault. He seems to be a jobber no matter what continent he's on. The world title match is up next, and as usual Matt Morgan is the firm fan favourite. Not sure why this match isn't going on last tonight. Probably because Q-Ball isn't very good and he's not actually a main eventer. This match is quite enjoyable for two big guys, and it's very back and forth. The match eventually ends when Boldy tries to jump from the top rope, but Matt Morgan nails him in mid-air with the carbon footprint to retain the world title. Suddenly a bunch of jobbers appear on the entrance ramp to clap Matt Morgan. What ass kissers! This former cricket player is out next. He's all over this show. He's basically the Indian Eric Bischoff. He's just here to introduce the competitors for the finals of the tag team title tournament next. God, I hate Chavo. I have a really bad feeling about this match. Then there's this woman announcer. In England, girls are judged by the size of their hoop earrings. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the whore. Well, this woman takes it to a whole new level. It literally looks like she's gone down to the Mombay rubbish tip and picked up pieces of trash to tie to her earlobes. This cricket guy is really annoying me as well. He's completely biased towards the good guys. He loves Chavo and Bulldog Hart. They keep showing him throughout the match, but nobody cares what this guy thinks. Maybe he's some sort of massive celebrity in India like David Beckham. I don't know, but get this guy off my screen now. The heels isolate Chavo for ages here, and this is a very good old school match. Sanjay Dutt actually impressed me here with some of his heel work. Chavo eventually manages to nail Magnus with the dropkick and then can manage to tag out the match. The match then breaks down and Scott Steiner comes out. Deadly Dander, the army dude, stops Steiner from going any further and threatens him with a little stick. So Steiner puts his tail between his legs and leaves. What idiots, this show's completely ruined him. The Steiner of 6 episodes ago would not have left or be scared of this guy. Why the change? Anyway, Bulldog powerbombs Sanjay and then Chavo hits the frog splash. Or the crossbody drop as the commentary team call it. And here they are, your first Rinker King Tag Team Champions. Bulldog Hart and Chavo Guerrero. Ugh. As the show goes off the air, Scott Steiner is shown backstage frantically apologising on the phone to the boss, who tells him that next week it is coming. What a terrible 4 episodes that was. They had something special with Steiner here, I'm not exaggerating, it was great. And then they completely ruined it. It's like he was a completely different person. What happened? Did they run out of steroids to pump him up with? They did a complete 180 on him. He had 0 matches in the 4 episodes that I've reviewed here, and now he's scared and saying sorry to people. I don't get it. And I'm sorry, I can't stand Chavo Guerrero. He was the most featured person on these shows other than the cricket guy. The wrestling continues to be good. There's no interference or bad booking, but it's just a bit dull. This felt closer to a WWE show rather than a TNA show. So that's the first 8 episodes reviewed now. If you want me to keep going with this, let me know down below. If not, shove it.